So now what we'll do is we'll go into restaurants. Now, because the location is Las Vegas now, wherever I go, it's all going to be to do with Las Vegas. So that's ideal for us. Scroll down here, and you'll come to the ranking section again here. Works in exactly the same way. So you can see the number one hotel, number one restaurant, beg your pardon, in Vegas is apparently Juan's Flaming Fajitas and Cantina. Fantastic. It's had quite a few reviews, 248, so it's obviously pretty good. Not that many people would give it 5 stars if it wasn't worthy of it, so that's a good recommendation. The only thing I would stress with restaurants, more so than hotels, is a lot of these won't be on the strip. They may be a short walk away, or they might be a long walk away. So beware on this one by just scoring or just looking at the score through the ranking. Now what I'm going to do for the purposes of this is I'm going to narrow the search. You can see you can narrow the search down with these parameters down the side by type of cuisine, if you're vegetarian or something, even by price, although I don't find how they rank the pricing or how they allocate the sort of pricing marks particularly accurate. But for the purposes of this, I think we'll just narrow it down to the strip and apply. So now you can see that you've lost that Juan's Cantina or whatever it was because it's apparently not on the strip. So you can see that this hotel is number 5 of same amount of restaurants in Las Vegas, but it's the number 1 restaurant on the strip. So obviously that's going to affect, you know, whether you're interested in going and things such like that. So as we scroll down, I'll try and find one that I'm familiar with. Here we go. Sinatra's is in the Win, I believe. Here we go. So again, you've got photos, and generally speaking, I think all of these are going to be traveller photos. But it gives you an idea of what the food looks like when it arrives. You know, like I say, rather than have the sort of flashy lighting and all this sort of stuff, you can actually see what people's meals look like, which is kind of what I want to roughly know when I'm reviewing, you know, looking into reviews of a restaurant. Again, you can see how many out of the restaurants in Las Vegas. So it's actually 25 still out of that many. So you know that's a good restaurant. You can see the pricing there. That means it's fairly expensive. There's no menu. Sometimes these have menus available to look at, but if they haven't, normally if you click on the website, they will have the menu on there. So if you want to look at the menu, that's one way to do it. This will all be familiar to you from when I explained about the hotel. So you've got where it is, information about, so you can see people don't think the value is as good as the service, food or atmosphere, and as we saw, it is quite expensive, so that probably plays into it. So that just gives you a little bit of information. And we've got the reviews again. Same principle, although I wouldn't be. People tend to be a bit harsher, I think, on food than hotels because it's more of a snap judgment. It's 1 or 2 dishes, and you've decided whether the restaurant is good or not. So here we've got 8, 3, so that's 11. So it's only 12% of people think that it's average or worse, and obviously 88 think it's very good or excellent. I would say anything above 75-80%, with the majority of the scores in excellent or very good. Again, that's a recommendation to me. Once again, you can search reviews if there's a particular dish or a particular type of cuisine or whatever you want to know a bit more about it. You can just search in the reviews and that will bring you up all the relevant ones. It's fairly self-explanatory. I'll just very briefly show you an example of when I used this traveller ranking, because this happened to me last year. I read Fromer's guide on Las Vegas, and it recommended a pizza restaurant called, I think it was called Radio City Pizza. It's not there anymore. It's been replaced by this place, Evil Pie, which I think is like an Evel Knievel themed pizza restaurant, which neither attracts me or puts me off really, but you can see it's ranked 255 out of 3,937, same as the other ones. Now I think it was about the same ranking for when it was Radio City Pizza, and I thought, I don't quite believe there isn't a pizza restaurant that's ranked. I don't believe that's the best pizza restaurant ranked on TripAdvisor. 255. There must be a pizza restaurant that's ranked higher than that. So I just went on the the ranking section, narrowed it down to Italians. Obviously kept the location in Vegas because I don't mind whether it's downtown or on the Strip, and I found this place. Now remember that place was 255. Pizza Rock, which is about 2 minutes away from that evil pie place, is ranked 60 out of 3,937. So I'm not saying Fromer's is wrong, but I'm saying a lot of people have been to both of those places, and generally speaking, people prefer this place, Pizza Rock. And I actually went there last time, and it's absolutely delicious. I believe the chef actually won he won like Best Pizza or something award, which had previously only been won by native Italians. So very, very good chef, and I really rate it. I would rate it very, very highly. So that's just an example of where the ranking system allowed me to basically improve on the recommendation that I'd already been given, and find a place that was actually nicer, better experience, and actually I enjoyed it, looking at it probably a lot more than I would of the other place. So having said that, we'll go on to the last section, which is going to be this one, which is things to do. Here we go. Now this is going to be this section here. You can look at pretty much anything. You can look at day trips. You can look at shows. You can look at whatever you like, really. Any sort of activity, extracurricular activity, is going to be on here. But we're going to scroll down again here, and as we come towards the bottom, we again find the ranking section. You can see here we've got number 1 of 458 things to do in Las Vegas, number 2, so that just follows the same routine. Now they used to do it all individually, but now performances are grouped together. So what I'll do is I'll just scroll down a bit further so you can see the sort of things that are ranked highly. Botanical gardens, that's free, so that's always free. Things are always ranked quite highly. Shooting ranges again, so rather than have this shooting range is the top one, this shooting range is the worst one on this section, they've actually sorted it into another section. So that will become a bit more apparent in a minute when I show you the sort of show reviews. So you can see, here we go, sightseeing tours, helicopter tours, Hoover Dam, Mob Museum. To be honest with you, I think that should be a little bit higher. It's definitely way better than Wayne Newton's Casa de Shenandoah, in my opinion. So what we'll do is we'll go back up and we'll look at the section on what they call it performances, so it's effectively shows. Now when we go into this section, we're going to lose that 2 out of 400 and whatever it was, and we're going to go into the more specific ranking for concerts and shows. Bellagio Fountains. I don't really know if that's a concert or show, to be honest with you. It's number 1. You have to do it. That's a must-do in Vegas. Like I said, I'm not going to review every single thing on here because that's not the purpose of this video. But it's not. You're not going to pay to get in. I wouldn't necessarily call it a concert or a show. It exactly is a performance, I suppose. But according to this, the best reviewed by people who have seen it show in Las Vegas, and this can change, is the Beatles' Love, which is a Cirque du Soleil production. So that is the number 1 show in Vegas, as reviewed by people on TripAdvisor. Number 2, effectively, like I say, it's going to come up number 3 on here, but we're ignoring the fountains. So the second best show, which I would definitely agree with in Vegas, is Le Rêve, and so on and so forth. And you've got Mystere, you've got Matt King, you've got Terry Fator, etc, etc. Some of these will have like traveller photos and things as well, but I mean they're not quite so relevant in this section. But it just gives you an idea, of what you're looking for. So what I'll do is I will just search for a show. Let's go for one that often gets not so much attention. It sometimes gets a bit of a bad rap. So we'll look at Zoomanity. Now Zoomanity is a Cirque du Soleil show. I think it's at New York, New York. It's resident. It is normally discussed as the least, I wouldn't say the least quality Cirque du Soleil show, but it's a more of a divisive subject. So we'll go on to it here. If you want to look up the subject, then obviously you're welcome to do so. I shan't discuss it here just for spoiler alerts. Now, if you look on here, it's number 48 of 458 things to do in Las Vegas. That's not too bad. See, that's still pretty high, even for, like I say, what people consider perhaps the most divisive Cirque du Soleil. Now, if I look at, let's have a look at another Cirque du Soleil. So what did we say that was? We said that was 48. So let's have another look at another Cirque du Soleil, which is a car. I think we're probably gonna, yes, there we go. So 48 for Zumanity. Now if we go on car, it's 23. 23. So that is quite a lot higher. So if someone says to you, go to Vegas, you've got to see a Cirque du Soleil, you're probably going to find Zumanity is very often, if not the cheapest one, it will be the one with the most availability. Why is that? Well, a lot of travellers, a lot of people reviewing it, say that car's better. So, supply and demand, isn't it? You know, if more people want to go to car, the tickets are harder to come by, etc., etc. So that's just an example where someone might say, oh, go do a Cirque du Soleil, they're probably all the same. They're not. They have very different themes, and actually, they're actually quite differently reviewed by people. So that's just one example. Like I say, if you've got things in mind, the quickest and simplest way to search them is just to go up here. So I often recommend the Cheesecake Factory to people. So I'll click on the Cheesecake Factory. And you can see, well, it says it's number 6 out of 161, but we're more interested in this one. 40 out of 4,240 places to eat in Vegas. That's a recommendation. So that's what you're looking for when you're searching for places on TripAdvisor. Hopefully that video has been of use to you. Sorry if it went on a bit long. Just trying to give you an idea of how to sort of use the website. I say hopefully it's been of help to some of you, and if you do have any questions or haven't covered anything, then just give us a shout, and I shall do another one.